Good morning, students. How are you all? Let's start with our class. So first, let us revise what we have studied in our previous class. So what did we study about? We studied about laws of indices, and then we solved a few examples based on the laws, and then we also saw the BIDMAS rule, right? And then after that we saw how to solve sums using BIDMAS rule, right? So in today's class we are going to solve a few word problems which are based on the addition, subtraction and multiplication, division of fractions. Okay, so we will first frame sentences and then we will solve the word problems. Okay, so the first problem is, I walked 2 by 3 kilometer to school, then 1 by 2 kilometer to the store, then 1 by 4 kilometer back home. How far do I walk altogether? Okay, that means there is someone who is walking 2 by 3 kilometers to the school. Then after walking this much, he is again walking 1 by 2 kilometers to the store. And after that again 1 by 4 kilometer back home. Okay, so total how much distance is he walking, that we have to find out. Okay, so first I write the distance he has walked for every time. Okay, so first time he has gone to the school, so the distance walked, I write the distance walked to school. So the distance walked to school is how much? 2 by 3 kilometers. Okay, then the distance walked to the store. So how much is the distance walked to the store? It is 1 by 2 kilometers. Okay, so 1 by 2. So this is a mixed fraction. So let us convert this mixed fraction into an improper fraction. Okay, so this becomes 2 into 2 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5. So this is 5 by 2 kilometers. Okay, then after that 1 by 4 kilometer back home. Distance walked back home is how much? 1 by 4 kilometers. And this is also a mixed fraction, so we convert it to an improper fraction. 4 ones are 4, 4 plus 1 is 5. So this is 5 by 4. Okay, so if we want to find the total distance, okay, all together how much distance he has walked, then what we do, we will add all these distances he has walked, right? So we have to add 2 by 3, 5 by 2 and 5 by 4. So we add it, we get 2 by 3 plus 5 by 2 plus 5 by 4. Okay, so now these are three fractions which we have to add. Okay, so while adding, now we have studied about what how to find the LCM and then how to convert these fractions. First what we do, we make their denominators same, right? By finding the LCM, first we make their denominators equal and then after that we simply add their numerators. Okay, so this, how will this become? What will be the LCM of, here there are 3 numbers, 3, 2 and 4, there are 3 numbers. So how do we find the LCM? LCM of these 3 numbers. So I will tell you one way to find LCM. Okay, so here which numbers are there in the denominator? 3, 2 and 4 are in the denominator. So to find the LCM, first write all the 3 numbers or all the numbers of which you have to find the LCM. Okay, now check the number which can be divided by each of the number. Okay, so and if it is not divided, like we'll see, like if I take 2, so from these 3 numbers, 2 and 4 can be divided by 2, right? So I divide 2, so 2 ones are 2 and 2 twos are 4. Okay, and 3 is not divided by 2, right? So I write 3 as it is. Okay, I write 3 as it is. I carry on 3 as it is down. Now again if I write that this number 2 here can be divided by 2. So 2 ones are 2. Okay. And then no other numbers can be divided by 2. So I write these two numbers also as it is. Okay. Now again 3 can be divided by 3. So I write 3 ones are 3. And these numbers again 1 cannot be divided by 3. So I write it as it is done. So we have to carry on this until the last numbers become 1, 1, 1. Okay. So until the numbers become all 1, we have to do this. Okay. Now whichever numbers we have got here in the left hand or in the left side, we have to multiply them. So what is the multiplication of 2 into 2 into 3? 2 into 2 is 4. 4 into 3 is 12. So LCM, here the LCM is 12. Okay. Okay, so the LCM of these three numbers, 3, 2 and 4 is 12. Now, we have to make each denominator equal to 12. So, how do we make each denominator equal to 2? Here the first denominator is 3. And to make it 12, which number should I have to multiply here? 3 into how much is 12? 4, right? So, I have to multiply this fraction, the whole fraction by 4. So, the denominator also gets multiplied by 4 and the numerator also gets multiplied by 4. So 4 into 2 will give me 8. So the first numerator becomes 8. Okay. Then the next denominator is 2. Now to make this 2 equal to 12, what do I do? Which number should I multiply? I will multiply 6 here, right? So 2 into 6 will give me 12. Similarly, I will have to multiply the numerator also by 6. So 5 into 6 is 30. So the second numerator becomes 30. Now the third denominator. The third denominator is 4. To make it 12, I will have to multiply it by 3. So this becomes 4 into 3, 12. Similarly, I multiply 5 by 3. So 5 into 3 becomes 15. Okay. So this becomes 15. And I write a common denominator for all the three fractions, which is 12. Because 12 is our LCM. Okay. Now, I simply add the numerators. So what is there in the numerator? 8 plus 30 is 38. 38 plus 15, let's do 38 plus 15 is 13, 3, 4, 5, 53. So this is 53 by 12. Okay. So this is the final answer. This is our final answer. So this much distance he has traveled, he has walked all together. Okay. So this is 53 by 12 kilometers. So the answer finally I write the distance walked all together is how much? 53 by 12 kilometers. Okay. So this is the answer. So was this simple? It was very simple. Distances walked were given in parts, and we had to find out the total distance walked. So the total distance, how do we find the total distance? We have to just sum all the distances. So we summed up all the distances which were given in fractions, then solved the fractions by how we do the addition of fractions, and then we got the answer 53 by 12. So 53 by 12 kilometers is the total distance walked by that person. Okay. The next question is, on each bounce, a ball rises to 2 by 3 of its height at the start of the bounce. To what height will it rise after the fourth bounce if it was originally dropped from a height of 81 centimeters? That means a ball is being dropped from a height, and every time it bounces, to a height which is of 2 by 3 of its original height. Okay. That means if first time I bounce a ball, if I drop it from a certain height, it will bounce and come back to a height which is 2 by 3, like 2/3 part of its first height. Okay, the previous height. Then again if it bounces, it will again come back and it will come to a point, to a height which is 2 by 3 of its just previous. Okay. So let's see how to solve this sum. So the original height is what? 81 centimeters. So the ball is dropped from a height of 81 centimeter. Okay. So I write original height. Okay. Original height is how much? 81 centimeter. Okay, so now when I drop it first time, okay, so after first bounce it will come to 2/3 of its original height. So what is the original height here? 81 centimeter. So after the first bounce it will come to 2/3 of 81 centimeter, to a height of 2/3 of 81 centimeter. Okay, so at first bounce, the height will be how much? Like after it bounces for the first time, it will come back to a height which is of 2/3 of 81. Okay, so 2/3 of 81 means what? 2/3 of 81 means 2/3 multiplied by 81. So how much is 2/3 of 81? 3, I'll do it here. 2/3 of 81 is 3 2s are 6, 3 7s are 2, 14, 5, 54. So this is equal to 54 centimeters. So after bouncing it for the first time, it will come to a height of 54 centimeters. Okay, so this is the height which is there for the next bounce now. Okay, that means this is the height. Like for the second time when it will bounce from this height, right? If like suppose I'll show you the diagram. If this is the ball and if I have dropped it, and if this was the first original height, okay, then it has bounced back and it has come to a height. Suppose it came here, okay, which is 2/3 of 81. So this height is how much? We have calculated. This is 54. Okay, so this is 54. So this will be the height now for the second bounce. This was the 81 was the height for the first bounce. Okay, now the new height which I have got, that is 54. This will be the height for the next bounce now. So the next bounce will be 2/3 of the previous, means the 54 height. Okay, so I drop it from here again. It will come and suppose it bounces back to suppose this height. Okay, so what will be that height now? So after this is the height which we have got after the first bounce. Now at the second bounce, this will be the height from which it is falling, right? So the height after bouncing, it will come to a height of 2/3 of 54. Okay, so now it will come to a height of 2/3 of 54. So 2/3 of 54, how much is 2/3 of 54? It is 36. Okay, so this after bouncing for the second time, it will bounce back to a height of 36 centimeter. Okay, so after the second bounce, it will come to a height 36. So the third height which I have got is 36. Now again it bounces. So how many times it has bounced? It has bounced for the first time, then it went to 54 height, again it has bounced and went back to 36. Now it will bounce for the, so this was the first, this was the second, now it will bounce for the third time. From here it will go to some height here. Okay, so that height we will find now. So at the third bounce, so at third bounce, what will be the height? So now this 36 which is there, 36 centimeter, this will be the height for the third bounce, right? Because it is now falling from a height of 36 centimeters. So this is the height. So after the third bounce, it will rise to a height of 2/3 of 36. Okay, that means every time the height which we are getting is the next height for which from which the ball is falling. Okay, so it will be 2/3 of 36. So how much is 2/3 of 36? 12 is 24. Okay, so this is 24 centimeters. So this is the new height which we have got. So this after bouncing it, after bouncing the ball for 3 times, after the third bounce, the ball will rise to the to a height of 24 centimeters. Okay, so now this is the height for the fourth bounce now. Okay, so at fourth bounce, For the fourth bounce, 24 is the height. So after the fourth bounce, it will rise to a height of 2/3 of 24. Okay. So if it is falling for the fourth time, for the fourth bounce, it will rise some less than 24. That is 2/3 of 24. Okay. So how much is 2/3 of 24? 16. Okay. So this is 16 centimeters. So this is the height at the fourth bounce. Means after bouncing for the fourth time, this will be the height. So this the last height is 16. Okay. And they have asked us to find the height at which it will rise after the fourth bounce. So after the fourth bounce, the ball will rise to a height of 16 centimeters. Okay. So I write the answer. After fourth bounce, the ball rises to a height of 16 centimeters. Okay. Everyone has understood this? Every time the ball rises to a height, then for the next bounce, this height will be its original height. Okay, that means the previous height will be original, and after the next bounce, it will rise to a height which is 2/3 of the previous height. Okay, so every time we have to take the 2/3 of every height. Okay, so I hope everyone has understood this sum. I felt this was a little difficult, but I hope everyone has understood now after me explaining it. Okay. Okay, now we go to the third problem. The third problem is a bottle of juice holds 2 1/4 liters. How many glasses of juice can be poured from the bottle if each glass holds 3/8 liter? Okay, that means there is a bottle of juice and it contains how much? It contains 2 1/4 liters of juice. Okay, so that bottle, if this is the bottle, it is containing how much? 2 1/4 liters. Okay, so there is how much? 2 1/4 liters of juice in the bottle. Now I have to pour this juice in glasses. Okay, so I have to count, like I have to see how many glasses can be filled by this much juice. Okay, which is there in the bottle. If each glass is containing how much? 3/8 liter of juice. Okay, so one glass contains 3/8 liters of juice, and the total juice is 2 1/4 liters. So how many glasses can be filled by the juice? Okay, so we have to find this. So let us first write what is the quantity of the bottle, quantity of juice the bottle holds. So the bottle holds how much? 2 1/4 liters of juice. Okay, 2 1/4 liters. This is again a mixed fraction, so we first convert it to an improper fraction. 4 2s are 8, 8 plus 1 9. So this is 9/4 liters. Okay, so the bottle contains 9/4 liters of juice. Now we are pouring it into glasses, and the quantity of one glass is quantity of juice one glass can hold is how much? 3/8 liters. Okay, so one glass holds 3/8 liters, and the total juice is 9/4 liters. So how many glasses can be filled? So I write the formula is number of glasses is equal to, if I divide the total the total quantity of juice by the quantity of juice which can be filled in one glass, I will get the number of glasses. Okay, so the formula to find how many number of glasses can be filled by the juice is quantity of juice the bottle holds, which is 9/4 liters. So 9/4 divided by 3/8. Okay, so this is 9/4 divided by 8 means the total quantity of juice which is there divided by the quantity of juice which one glass can hold. Okay, so this is 9 by 4 divided by 3 by 8. Now again, these are two fractions which are divided. So we have seen how to divide two fractions. So how we divide? First we, in place of the division sign, if we have to put a multiplication sign, what we do? We take the reciprocal of the other fraction, right? So the reciprocal of 3 by 8 will be 8 by 3. So on on multiplying this, what I get? 3 3s are 9 multiplied by 4 2s are 8. So 3 into 2 is how much? 6. Okay. So number of glasses, how many number of glasses we get? We get 6. So by the quantity of juice which is given to you in the bottle, from that quantity, how many glasses of juice can you fill? You can fill 6 glasses of juice. Okay. So 6 glasses. 6 glasses can be poured from the bottle of juice. Okay. So total 6 glasses can be poured. 6 glasses can be poured from the bottle to the glass. Okay. Okay. We now go to the fourth question. The fourth question, first part is how many quarters in 16. So here these are the sentences which are given to you, and you have to convert them into numbers first and then solve. Okay. So we have seen what is 1/10, right? We know what is 1/10, 2/10 or 2/3. Okay, 2/3 means 2 by 3. 1/10 means 1 by 3. 1 by 10. And 2/10 means what? 2 by 10. Okay. And a quarter means divided by 4. Okay, a quarter means is 1 by 4. So how many quarters in 16? So in 16, how many quarters are there? So what we have to do here, we have to divide 4 by 16. That is, we can also write it as 16 divided by 4. Okay. So how many quarters are there in 16? There are 16 by 4 quarters in 16. Okay. So 16 by 4 is how much? 16 by 4 is 4. So how many quarters are there in 16? There are 4 quarters in 16. So 4 multiplied by 4 gives us 16. This 4 is the answer, and quarter means 4. So this 4 into this 4 gives me 16. So there are 4 quarters in 16. Now the second, how many thirds in 3? Thirds means what? 1 by 3. Okay. So how many thirds are there in 3? We do 3 divided by 3. Okay. So 3 divided by 3 is how much? 1. So how many thirds are there in 3? That is 1/3 in 3. Okay. Then the third, what is 3/10 of 3? 3/10 of 3 means what? When we write 1/10, it is 1 by 10. Okay. When we write 2/10, we write 2 by 10. Okay. And when we write 3/10, then it is 3 by 10. Okay. This is 3/10. Okay. So what is 3/10 of 3? So we have to find 3/10 of means multiplication. Okay. Wherever there is an of in such sentences, we put a multiplication sign. So what is 3/10 of 3? So what will be the fraction? This is a fraction. 3 by 10 is a fraction, and 3 is also a fraction, because if we put divided by 1 here, this will also be a fraction. Okay. So this is how do we solve this? We solve it by multiplication of fractions. So how do we multiply two fractions? We multiply the numerators together, write the answer in the numerator, and then we multiply the denominators together. So how do we multiply this? 3 multiplied by 3 is 9, and 10 remains as it is. So how many? What is 3/10 of 3? 9 by 10 is 3/10 of 3. Okay. Everyone has understood what is a tenth, what is a third, what is a quarter. Quarter means divided by 4. Third means divided by 3. Tenth means divided by 10. Okay. Now the next question. The next question is question 5. The first part is find a tenth of 3 quarters of $800. Okay. So a tenth means what? A tenth means 1 by 10. Okay. Then 3 quarters. Of means what? Multiplication. 1/10, a tenth of 3 quarters. 3 quarters means 3 divided by 4. Okay. 1 quarter means 1 by 4. And 3 quarters means 3 by 4. Okay. Again of $800. So after multiplying this, what we get? This 0 and this 0 can be cancelled. 1 0 gets cancelled. 4 1s are 4. 4 2s are 8, and this 0 is remaining. So this becomes 1 into 3 into 20. That is equal to 3 into 20. And there is only 1 remaining in the denominator. So we need not write that. This becomes 3 into 20. 3 into 20 is 60. So this is 60. So find a tenth of 3 quarters of $800. So that is $60. The question is given in dollars, so we have to find a fraction, a given fraction of $800. So that fraction is $60. Okay. So a tenth of 3 quarters of $800 is $60. Now the second question. The second question is similar to the first one, only they have rearranged the names. Okay. So first, in the first question, what they have written? Find a tenth. Okay, of 3 quarters. So and in the second question, they have written this 3 quarters first, and then they have written the tenth. Okay. So the answers of both the questions will be the same, but by framing this thing will come different. By framing the by framing the numbers, the framing will be different. Okay. So how do we write this? Find 3 quarters. So 3 quarters means what? 3 by 4. 3 quarters of a tenth. A tenth means 1 by 10. Okay. 3 quarters of 1/10 of $800. So this is again similar. 1 into 3 into 800 was in the numerator. Similarly, 3 into 1 into 800 is in the numerator. And in the denominator was 10 and 4. Here also 4 and 10 are in the denominator. So this answer will be same. Let's check. 10, 1 0, 1 0 gets cancelled. 4 1s are 4 and 4 2s are 8. And the 0 remains as it is. So this becomes 3 into 1 into 20. That is 3 multiplied by 20. And there is nothing remaining in the denominator. There is 1 only. So we write 3 into 20, which is 60. Okay. And this was also given in dollars. So it is again $60. Okay. So we see that even if we rearrange the terms, like first if we write 3 quarters and then if we write tenth, or if we write first the tenth and then we write 3 quarters, and if they are multiplied, here of is given, that means they are multiplied, then the answer is same. Okay. Even if we rearrange the terms, the answer will be same. Okay. So these were a few word problems based on fractions. So we have solved a few of the word problems. Some of them I have written in the notes which I will give you. Okay. It is not possible for me to solve each and every sum which is given in the textbook. So I have written those sums in the notebook, and I have solved them also. So you can have a look at those sums also. Okay. So what did we study today? We studied about how to solve word problems based on fractions, their addition, division and all. This is the with this exercise we end this chapter number 1. In the next class we will start with a new chapter. Okay, I hope everyone has understood this whole chapter. If anyone is having any problem with the chapter, with any part, you can contact me and you can ask me your problems. Okay, so that's it for today. Take care, children. Goodbye.